Hello, Cryptonauts and Ravenites all around the world. Thank you for being a part of this episode of Ravencoin Development Community Discussions number 7, where I read verbatim what's been going on in the Ravencoin Discord development meetings channel and the development channel to see what updates have been going on. And I know that a lot of you have been appreciating this because this has been distributed among multiple platforms. I know some of you don't have Discord, and this has been very helpful, and I appreciate all the positive feedback from you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, if you don't know, and I just found out this week by one of the Ravenites out there that was talking with me not too long ago, that he just found out recently, after being a miner, a Ravencoin miner for so many years, that you can actually create NFTs on Ravencoin. And if you don't know, there's a lot of people out there that can help you out in the Ravencoin community. Just get connected with somebody, and they'll teach you the simple way. It's very easy, by the way. It's very easy. They'll teach you how to create your own NFTs. All right, with that said, we are going to continue the conversation here in the development meetings channel on Discord. Okay, let's start off with December 17th, 2021, Kinkajou starts the conversation with channel open. Obviously, if you guys don't know, every Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the devs meet up in the development meeting channel to discuss what updates are being pushed onto GitHub for Ravencoin. Okay? Bad Guy TY responds, "Yay! Been playing around with P2SH on testnet, and man, I feel like I want some helper functions in Qt to simplify all the finding inputs and then signing the message." Tron responds, "Hi everyone." He got 3 hand wave emojis response. Just FYI, the P2SH allows longer, more complex scripts while it isn't bad to have an M of N multisig in the UI. I'm not sure what that means. M of N multisig in the UI. The capability is really built for servers to be able to do federated lockup of assets, like it is able to do for Ravencoin currently. Kinkajou responds to Bad Guy TY, "There is an issue open for GUI support here. Link github.com/ravenproject/ravencoin/issues/1142. Perhaps you could add your suggestion to this. I agree it is currently a bit difficult for the average user to utilize P2SH as most are hesitant to use the console." Bad Guy TY responds to Kinkajou, "Yeah, I mean on my end for Squawker, I am just building in the helper function, so it shouldn't be an issue, but having to do a lot of these steps on CLI would totally kill me. I mean, I have been having enough trouble slogging through how the transactions work enough to get code in place to test it out." He got a 100% emoji for that. Kinkajou responds, "Agreed. It would have been difficult to test as well, even if P2SH was initially added for one purpose. Making the features more accessible might bring about alternative use that hadn't been considered, as tends to happen." Bad Guy TY responds, "Yeah, it's a boon for Squawker, as it allows joint custody of assets on a shared address." And the last message of this day, from Kinkajou, "If any community testers are able to check out some of these remaining items, it would certainly be appreciated." He provided a link to github.com/fdovin/raven/blob/main/testing-4.7.0 test.md. Just a few items left, so wouldn't even take too long. I think devs plan on looking over everything during the upcoming holidays, with the release following shortly after. There you go. Ravenites. We're getting so much closer every single day. These devs are going non-stop. Even though there wasn't much discussion in this past Friday's dev meeting, it's very obvious that they're pushing they're testing it out as much as they can, but it still requires the community to get in there and test out Wallet 4.7. If you don't have that, you can easily go up to let's see here. I think it's news. If you go to the Discord news, and there it is. Yep. If you go to Discord news, you can click on the link that's provided there. That is the trusted one that it's been posted by Seve. And They just want you to just download it, test it out, do as much stress as you can on the wallet, find any kind of little kinks, anything that breaks, report it back to the devs so they can patch it up and fix it. They will not know, this will not be the best wallet that it can possibly be without the community's help. So the more people that can download it and test it out, just tinker with it and report back their findings, they will make it that much more better for the hundreds and thousands of people that will be utilizing this wallet. Okay, with that said, let's move on over to the development channel. This one is a continuously open channel for all developers that are developing on Ravencoin. Okay, so let's see who starts the conversation on the 17th. It is going to be wow, there's a lot of conversation here. Wow, there's a lot. Okay, this is where everyone's talking at. Okay, so we're going to just do December 17th. SLinux X starts the conversation. Hi here. Anyone familiar with WX widgets? I would like to get some expert external comments, both on the technical aspect and overall design. Please DM me. SLinux continues to respond. Hi at BadGuyTY. I'm trying to set up an IPFS or IPFS gateway to Squawker, assuming I create my own. How much space do I need to allocate? Will this IPFS sync up with other files from other nodes until it gets full? Question mark. BadGuyTY responds. It will sync files requested through it. What is that? AFAIK. I forgot what that stands for. AFAIK. I forget. As far as I know, that's right. As far as I know. SLinux responds. Unless input connection doesn't work, right? Question mark. Bad guy responds. Not sure what their retention is on synced files, but it will only permanently keep those that are pinned. SLinux X responds. PSH port forwarding is simple. Multi-hop port forwarding is an n²2 relationship though. SLinux X. Yeah, but in my case, I do not want my dev machine going outside. Bad guy TY responds, well, yeah, I completely understand. I'm just commenting on the actual act of port forwarding. SLinux X responds, well, I think the best to do is to create a snapshot of my VM and try. Bad guy TY responds, keeping IPs pinned so you port forwarding doesn't magically point to a different local IP at the reboot and making it 100% set where it is. I get into the weeds personally. Now, if you are pinning your own files, you will want to make sure that the sharing is routable so others can request the IPFS hashes so you are pinning locally. This is basically the same as allowing the Raven node to connect to the other network, but not allowing the RPCs to happen externally. SLinux X responds, yeah, of course. Bad guy TY responds, just making sure. I have seen some weird networking things from professionals, quote unquote, while working enterprise tech support. SLinux X responds, I started to play with your lib. That doesn't sound right. Managed to skip the IPFS part for now and retrieved Politicon list of transactions/messages. Here is the last one, and there is a screenshot here of what he's talking about. Bad guy TY responds, that's actually the first, but same thing. The last on Politicoin is gibberish, as it was sending while I was trying to get raw transactions to print out the transactions. Well, if I remember correctly. SLinux X responds, in fact, if occasionally you have a bit of time and are open to, I would be happy to discuss a bit with you, maybe directly through Vocal. There are some points I'm still unsure how it will/could work large scale. One of those examples is the IPFS node requirement, and pretty sure that you have many already though about? Bad guy TY responds, yeah, I'm throwing that out once P2SH is working. Well, I will be hosting the IPFS for one thing, for things done through Squawker's site at least. Linux X responds to Bad Guy TY. What do you mean? I will be able to push an IPFS file to a shared node with P2SH? Question mark. Bad Guy TY responds, well, for text. No, with P2SH, I can do 1 or 2 multi-sig address for joint custody, and that way I would be able to send on behalf of people, but they still have control of the address also. Just makes everything simplified. Well, for normies. Linux X responds, right, so they don't need a Ravencoin and so on. Also, the app can be web-based for easy access. Bad Guy TY responds, right, if they are using it themselves, I think it would be best if they had an IPFS server of their own, but they could use another server. If the dev branch, I have it so it should be able to dump the transactions and the IPFS hash and the file upload to any IPFS hosting service. Linux X responds, yeah, I see, genius. Basically, you centralize your own decentralized solutions. With a smile, with a jokingly face emoji. Bad Guy TY responds, I centralize my browser, quote unquote, for my decentralized solution, but as my browser is all that is out there besides the support complex solution you are playing with, yeah, you are right. I call it a browser as that's basically all I can think that emulates it. It is a Web 3.0, and that's before I really knew what Web 3.0 was. All that it would take to be fully Web 3.0 would be a set of RPC servers that could handle requests to populate the data for a client. Castlevat Vax jumps into the conversation. Any developers here to have any telecom experience? Question mark. I would love to work on a Ravencoin idea and can do it myself as well, but I have some questions. Bad Guy TY responds, how does Teleco fit into Raven? Question mark. Castlevat responds, I was looking at the IPFS layer and I think it would be really cool to have a layer either on top of that or adjacent to it to enable SIP calling using a Ravencoin assets. Like, I guess maybe one way to do it would be to put the WebRTC library into a wallet and use location information stored in IPFS to make a call to that destination. Maybe it's crazy or stupid idea. I don't know. Bad Guy TY responds, well, you could use something similar to the flagging, quote unquote, I am doing with Squawker to set the latest IPFS containing the local info. Not sure about the Teleco part. Castlevat responds, I think it would be great to have an SIP cloud that uses information stored in Ravencoin tokens to follow me functionality. Like maybe a unique Raven asset represents a conference which could contain 0 or more other parties. Excuse me. When you click on the asset, like you can today, and the wallet pops up, that message about using your browser to follow the IPFS link, instead it could make a SIP call to the destination stored in the asset. And if none of that ever touched the real PSTN, then it gets around any kind of taxation and or regulation for telephone calls. How does the Ravencoin core wallet associate IPFS data to a browser? Question mark. Bad Guy TY responds, the IPFS hash is stored either as part of the asset creation or you can attach an IPFS hash to an asset transfer. Linux X responds to Castlevat, I think it just opens the default browser and send URL. Bad Guy TY responds, I use the second with Squawker and sending the asset from the address back to itself to flag, quote unquote, it as update, e.g. profile updates or additional data, e.g. messages, videos, market listings. Castlevat responds, oh, you can update an IPFS destination? Question mark. Is the update what you're referring to as flagging? Question mark. Bad Guy TY responds, no, you can update the IPFS destination. Castlevat responds to Bad Guy TY, ah, okay. Bad Guy TY responds, I do the update additions through the flagging, but if everyone is on the same page as to which assets they are looking for transactions back to the address, it is easy to find the desired info. Castlevat responds, I guess at a minimum I could put an SIP URI into an asset today without any changes. Then I'd have to figure out the best way to use that SIP URI in a SIP call when the wallet user clicks the asset. SLinux X responds to Castlevat, you can update the asset URL, but you can add a new IPFS hash each transaction. Maybe reissuing the asset you can change the IPFS. Not sure. Bad Guy TY responds, yes. On a reissue you can change the IPFS hash, but who wants to spend 100 Raven each time you have to update when you can flag and spend less than 0.01 Raven? You can also set the IPFS on a send to an additional address, so you could send that when setting up additional calls, but it would have to have some way to track which assets are which calls. There is also the whole encryption, and if you want only those holding a token to be able to connect to the SIP. Castlevat responds to Bad Guy TY, yeah, I'm not sure if the open source *DUNDI service might be able to help with something like that. DUNDI is an open source peer-to-peer telephone book that open source solutions invented. Bad Guy TY responds, so you could do something like issue an asset for a call, then send out the other tokens to the participants that can join the call using the GPG keys for encryption. Castlevat responds, so maybe real updatable destination and stored in DUNDI, which would share across any asterisk boxes that were part of this theoretical Ravencoin phone cloud? Bad Guy TY responds, yeah, you could have some of them in an IPFS file that is updated through flagging or on changes. This is how I plan on doing numbers in Squawker. Having a master list of what addresses have what means the messages can be associated by sending their IPFS hash along with a small amount of assets on the specified addresses. Castlevat responds, sorry, what is Squawker? ? Bad Guy TY responds, a decentralized social media protocol that will allow users to post uncensorable content through IPFS hashes. Castlevat responds, oh, nice. Bad Guy TY responds, eventually you will be able to do things like purchase content to your address and using that token to decrypt said content. Castlevat responds, is this released at all? ? Bad Guy TY responds, so you could even do something like fans only or Patreon type services, kind of github.com/TylerHess/Squawker and squawker.badguyty.com. I am working on a testnet to make use of the P2SH in 4.7 to have joint custody accounts so that my server can do the posting for you, but you would also have control based on your address private keys. But there is a working code to use it with a full node and IPFS servers on your own through command lines. Castlevat responds, neat, I'm looking at your stuff now. Bad Guy TY responds, the dev branch has most of the site scans and DB queries and server connections infos. SLinux X responds, stands? ? Without ? Bad Guy TY responds, yeah. SLinux X responds, FR ? Bad Guy TY responds, yeah. I would rather not publish my DB class, as I know I don't write the best SQL and don't want to make it too easy for the SQL inject. I mean, if you need the DB class, I am not opposed to handing it out to known entities. Just don't want to publish it publicly when I have crypto on said server. SLinux X responds to Bad Guy TY. Personally, I don't. I was working on a GUI panel for Squawker as I'm more of an application lore guy. Bad Guy TY responds, awesome. Desktop browser is perfect, just what it needs. SLinux X response. In fact, it was the only reason I wish we could have a talk. Bad Guy TY responds, yeah, I really should be working, but we can chat sometime. SLinux X responds to Bad Guy TY, Python, cross-platform, and I wish portable as well. He continues responding to Bad Guy TY, no worries, when you have time. Bad Guy TY responds to SLinux, nice. LSJIO7 jumps into the conversation at Bad Guy TY. IPFS is mainly intended for content distribution. The CID, content identifier, or hashes starting in QM are immutable. Fingerprints to find associated files if it is still available on the entire IPFS network. The same file always returns the same hash, and that's how the IPFS network connects to the token and the larger files. The larger file must be pinned or available on the IPFS network. Ravencoin saves the lightweight QM IPFS hash with the token when issued initially, or can be added to IPFS hash to each token transaction as a message. The intent is to link an immutable file with the token. It is, however, possible to link a mutable IPNS hash or link to a specific node via a IPFS QM hash, so that the issuer can edit the website, etc. It leads to it as well. This is a function that is part of the IPFS network, and it was added after the more common immutable file types. Apologies if that's confusing. No, LSJIO7, I clearly understand, and that was one of the things that I've been talking about for the longest time. Thank you. Let's see, December 18th, we have the first conversation opening up with SLinux X. Hi, at Bad Guy TY. During my tentative and integration of Squawker, inside another app, I noticed few changes that could be helpful for an easier integration in the future. My use case was pretty simple, but the task not simple. One basic thing, for example, I had to import the squawker.py as a lib for my app, which already contains an RPC connector, also the same as you. This might get only this to get only the find_latest_messages function that I need. Obviously, this has some issues because IPFS requirements and so on. I would suggest that those read-only quote-unquote functions became part of a specific file with less dependencies, so anyone want to read but has no IPFS could just import the class and the object classes. In this way, we can import squawkerlib.py without requiring a full Squawker tool to be operational and get access to basic read functions and provide the RPC connections object to the constructor as you did in the account class. SLinux X continues, I will probably write a little read class which do not require IPFS. FDOV jumps into the conversation at SLinux and at Bad Guy TY. I gave you developer roles. If you don't want them for some reason, just tell me, here or DM. Awesome, congratulations you guys. All right, SLinux responds to FDOV. I think there is no best moment to share something to the community. Here, a prototype of what I call quote-unquote WX Raven it is free, open source, and cross-platform. It acts as a layer 2 of the Ravencoin software and provides a integrated environmental framework with native Ravencoin RPC communications in it. It provides useful built-in functions to create and develop your own use case-specific application as one or multiple plugins of the integrated environment itself, such as built-in RPC connections, high-level RPC API commands, RPC shell and command list, highly customizable end-user interface / components. More to come. It is still a development version, but fully working anyways. github.com/slinuxx/wxraven is the link. It continues on. It is written in Python 3.x and using WX widget library with the inspiration of Eclipse IDE. WX Raven natively supports the plugin approach and the view perspective concept. Enjoy, Ravencoin community. Feedback, comments, suggestions, and even bad critiques, if productive, will be well received. Schmucks jumps into the conversation with a screen post here about, let's see. Looks like there's a bunch of pools, Ravencoin pools here. And there's a bunch of arrows he's pointing at. I'm not sure what this is. There's no commentary on. Oh, here he goes. Happen again, just for your info. And let's see. What is he talking about? It appears. Okay, so Schmuck posted yesterday at 11:26 p.m. Happen again for your info. Yes, this was. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on. Cannot assign request address. Error. Connect block. Consensus. Check transaction asset. Okay. Ravendow Y has already been used. Test block. Consensus block. Bad transaction issues. Unique contextual invalid parameters. Ravendow Y. Okay. It looks like Smoke is monitoring the amount of the amount of hash power that's being pushed on the Ravencoin blockchain. And he's reviewing all of the different pools that are out there, and he's starting to find some errors that are being a continuous issue. I want to know more though, Schmuck, please. FDOV response to at schmuckminerpool.org with autofix mempool ? Schmuck responds, I have the setting, but nodes were not restarted to consider it. From now on, the setting is in place. He got the hand clap for that one, the hand clap emoji. Schmuck responds with a link here, github.com/ravencoin/blob/master/contrib/debian/examples/raven.config. Here should be added that autofix mempool as example. /bin jumps into the conversation. We have issues on our pool too. What is the auto mempool parameter? ? Google says it's nothing about it. /bin continues to respond. Alert log found. Error. Process new block. Accept block failed. Proof of work failed. Schmuck responds with another screenshot that says, oh, okay, so it's just adding this particular line in your raven.config file. You're going to add autofix mempool equals 1. Okay. Yeah, so this is from Schmuck. He says, yeah, nobody says anything about it. It is default to false. It has to be true. Oh, okay. And we should know about it. Pretty strange. I found it in FDOV's link about it in the init.cpp. And here's a link, github.com/blondfrogs/ravencoin/blob/ and there's a long string of lines and numbers. Here you will find the config settings, but it was nice to have them also in the examples. Anyways, I have all 4 stratums now set with this flag. We will see if it helps. SLinux X response at badguyty. Or anyone here have a simple IPFS tutorial to create a quick node on AWS. LSJIO7 responds with a link, link.medium.com/J4Q0Q-Law7LB. And this goes to tutorial setting up an IPFS peer part 1. Bad guy TY responds, yeah, I have a basement server, so I don't use AWS much. Crawverda jumps into the conversation. Basement servers. And a bunch of carrots going to the right. SNX X responds, Bad Guy TY and Kinkaju. I reply here about the following message in development meetings since I was not able to reply in the channel itself. Discord.com/channels/numbers/bunch of numbers/a bunch of more numbers. Are the P2SH functions available through RPC ? Can I help to build so quick panels for that in my WX Raven stuff for you to test purpose ? And that is the end of the development channel for today. What do you guys think? Are you guys still with me? Ah, Granada. Grandma. Grandma's with us. Nice, Grandma. Welcome. Cool. Yeah, so that's it. Cryptonauts and Ravenites all around the world. I appreciate you all listening. And until next time, stack that Raven and HODL. Adios.